Good Tuesday evening, August 6th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A break in an irrigation canal outside Moses Lake led to road closures overnight, but authorities say the situation is under control. Temperatures will remain above normal into this weekend and beyond. Your full local weather forecast is straight ahead. An 18-year-old East Wenatchee man was sentenced to 15 months last week for his part in a gunfire and graffiti incident at Lee Elementary School. Enrique Agustin Torres pleaded guilty yesterday in Douglas County Court to counts of unlawful firearm possession and malicious mischief. East Wenatchee police arrested Torres May 31st, 2 weeks after Eastmont school officials found gang graffiti on portable classrooms outside Lee and reviewed surveillance footage of a person firing a handgun on school grounds at about 2 a.m. In exchange for his plea, prosecutors dropped one charge that alleged Torres used an illegally modified firearm in that crime. Judge Brian Huber imposed the sentence. He's scheduled to decide next week whether Torres must pay costs for the property damage. A break in an irrigation canal outside Moses Lake led to road closures overnight, but authorities say the situation is under control. Starting about 10 p.m. Monday, water from the East Low Canal began flooding across Road N Northeast about 6 miles east of the city. Nearby residents were placed on Level 2 evacuation notice, warning them to be ready to leave if notified. The East Columbia Basin Irrigation District, which manages the canal, began diverting water away from the channel and setting up dikes to contain the flow. The district says once the canal is safely drained, repairs could be completed in just 1 week. Moses Lake High School students raised over $100,000 in 1 hour for extracurricular activities on Monday. The students brought fully charged phones to an event dubbed the Hour-a-thon, where they called a list of people asking for donations to extracurricular programs. The Moses Lake School District's $20 million budget crisis has led to massive layoffs in staff and the inability to put on extracurricular activities, including sports. The Hour-a-thon was put together by the Community Athletics and Activities nonprofit, who is hoping to raise $2.6 million to fully fund all athletic and activity programs in the district for the upcoming school year. As of this morning, the Hour-a-thon has raised over $125,000, and other online donations are sitting just under $300,000. A forecast of wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour may impact firefighting efforts in Stehekin today. The wind gusts were expected around 3 o'clock, and fire officials were bracing for rollouts, single and group tree torching, and uphill runs. Officials said the fire moved into the community of Stehekin and through the Purple and Imus Creek drainage overnight, and crews were able to hold the fire to within 100 feet of several structures at pre-established control lines. The Pioneer Fire has burned over 36,000 acres and is at 12% containment. Evacuation levels for the area remain unchanged, with Stehekin at level 3, Moore Point to Safety Harbor at level 2, and Safety Harbor to Camas Creek at level 1. When we come back, the Porter's Pond Natural Area along the Apple Capitol Loop Trail fell victim to brush fire yesterday afternoon. Wenatchee Valley College will hold a series of events coming up, preparing new students to join them this fall. And the median sales price of a home in the Wenatchee real estate market inched up compared to both July of 2023 and June of this year. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
The Porter's Pond Natural Area along the Apple Capitol Loop Trail fell victim to brush fire Monday afternoon. The Wenatchee Valley Fire Department says smoke and flames were reported at the Riverside landmark just before 5 p.m. The fire was quickly contained. Porter's Pond is a popular birding and nature watching stop along the Loop Trail. No official word yet on the cause of that fire. Wenatchee Valley College is preparing for new students to join them this fall. Students and their families are invited to join Wenatchee Valley College's Puente to Excellence events in September to help students navigate their first year in college. Students will learn about advising, navigation support at WVC, and students will hear about college expectations and common challenges within their first year of college. Family workshops, which will be held in Spanish with English interpretation, will be held simultaneously, and attendees will learn how to best support their student. The workshops are slated for September 5th and 18th at the Wenatchee campus and September 12th on the OMAC campus from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The median sales price of a home in the Wenatchee real estate market inched up compared to both July of 2023 and June of this year. Pacific Appraisal Associates of Wenatchee reports the median sales price of a home in July was $505,000. That's up 6% from $477,450 in July of 2023 and up from the $500,000 sales price in June of this year. Active home listings last month were at 215, up a whopping 72% compared to July of last year when 125 houses were on the market. 83 total home sales in July were also up compared to July of 2023 when 72 were sold. That's up 15%. Coming up next, tomorrow is National Purple Heart Day, and Chelan and Douglas County officials will proclaim the local area a Purple Heart region. More on that next in tonight's feature story. Our above normal temperatures look to continue through the middle of the month. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Let Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if only you had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties, Mary Maids, let us help.
Check out ClubCrowCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Swung on and hits on a hop past the shortstop.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox are in the West Coast League playoffs, and NCWLIFE channel has you covered. Join us for the divisional round this Sunday at 6:30. Coverage is brought to you by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Gold supporter, Town Auto Group, also by Club Crow Bar and Grill, Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, AmeriCorps, and Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate. Join us for the playoffs right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
In tonight's features story, tomorrow on National Purple Heart Day, Chelan and Douglas County officials will proclaim the local area a Purple Heart region. At Pybus Public Market from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., local Purple Heart recipients will share the stories of their military service, stories like that of Vietnam veteran Leslie Butch Seiler, who joined Casey Safford here in our NCWLIFE studios.
I was going to go to college. I got drafted. I went in with a friend, and he said he was going to volunteer for the draft. And I was standing there, and I was looking at this board, and my name was there. I said, "What's my name doing here?" They said, "Those are the people going out next week." I said, I thought I was going to college. And she says, "You must not have notified us that you were going to go to college." I was going to go to the 5th Street U. Well, so I said, I want to go with my buddy, the guy I went in with. And funny part is, he didn't pass the physical. I did. And so back I come, and then all of this, Fort Lewis, Fort Pote, Louisiana, and Vietnam.
Yeah, tell us a bit about your time in the service and what incident led to you being awarded a Purple Heart.
I ended up on a 4-man point team, and we would trade it off. There was Taylor. He was walking point the day we got into this mess. Garza was our 79 man, and Home was our Chuhai, and and me, a rifleman. And anyway, we went out on this mission. Holmes says there's a lot of booby traps here. There's a sign there. And the United States Army doesn't go around anything. Anyway, we started through. Taylor took point. I was walking second man. He stopped as he was getting ready to go around a little bend in the trail, held up his hand. I turned to Home, who was walking third man, and held up my hand for him to stop. And he took a step, and I was laying in a hole about that big. And it was strange. Taylor come running back to me, and he says, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine." I says, "Go see how Home is." He took the shrapnel. I just got a 2-inch cut on the bottom of my foot from the concussion and crushed my foot. And that's about it. I mean, they medevaced me out, and then I was 10 days short of a year in a cast.
Wow.
And,
yeah, it's amazing how vividly you remember it. You can tell that it was
it's pretty vivid.
So just to inform our viewers who may not know, a Purple Heart is a military award for members of the U.S. Armed Forces who have greatly sacrificed themselves or given their lives to their service for their country. So walk us through the moment that you received your Purple Heart. What thoughts and emotions and things were you going through in that moment of recognition?
Well, I was laying in Saigon, and here come this full bird colonel, and I thought, uh-oh, I start to set up, and I couldn't. But anyway, he says, no, son, just lay right there. And he handed me a Purple Heart, hooked it to my pillow.
I understand that you are planning on attending the Purple Heart ceremony that will be at Pybus.
Yes.
So tell us a bit about your take on our region making an effort to designate us as a Purple Heart community.
I think that's cool. I mean, there's a lot of us veterans that have Purple Hearts. I mean, and I was always impressed. I think Moses Lake is a Purple Heart city. And First time I heard that, I thought, well, that's cool. But I never thought about it. Tony called me there the other day and says, what do you think about, being able to get up and tell your story? God was with me. There's no way that people get on landmines and walk away. I hopped out on 1 foot.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Tuesday, and it was a nice one out there. A little hazy at times, and some places worse than others, and it was a warm one again today. But all in all, it's summertime, and this was a typical summer day across our area with lots of blue skies. Just a few cumulus clouds above the Cascades as we look down outside our weather window at the Wenatchee Valley from our Sky-Fi tower camera up on Wenatchee Heights. And I'll tell you what, this weather that we're seeing now, it's going to continue. Our 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, we will be above normal temperatures, and it's not into the red where we are way above. We're talking temperatures probably up until the 14th between that 90 and 95. We may dip into the upper 80s at times, but it's going to be a pretty warm next couple of weeks heading into the middle of August. It was a warm one today. We mentioned it, 94, our unofficial high temperature. 89 is where we should be for this time of year, and our record high 103, and that was set in 1972. Another mild start to our day at 72. 63 is our normal low temperature, and our record cold 50 degrees, and that was in 2002. Our sun came up at 5:46 this morning, and it sets tonight at 8:26. All right, let's get into your Wednesday temperatures now, and it's going to feel a lot like today out there. 94 Moses Lake and Ephrata, 93s for Quincy, Wenatchee, Aniat, and into Chelan. Omak, our warm spot at 95. Our cool spot tomorrow up in Lake Wenatchee with a high temperature of 88. High pressure still dominating our weather picture, and there it is out on the Pacific. We've also got a ridge up and over the Pacific Northwest from high pressure that's bringing all that warmth into our area, and tonight we'll see pretty much some widespread haze out there. Low temperatures very mild into the upper 60s and lower 70s. More haze for Wednesday and hot. High temperatures in the low to mid 90s, and that goes for almost all of central and eastern Washington. For Thursday, not much change, folks. Here's the top of that ridge well up into British Columbia, while Montana is feeling the effects of a cold weather trough. We won't feel that here. Mostly sunny. High temperatures Thursday into the low 90s, and then as we end our work week in Friday, actually this area of high pressure will widen as we make our way through the week. Maybe some thunderstorm activity. That's a possibility on Friday afternoon. We'll call for isolated thunderstorms. High temperatures around 90 degrees with that cloud cover. We'll see some high clouds on Saturday, kicking off our weekend. Not going to rule out some more thunderstorm activity in the afternoon on Saturday. High temperatures into those low 90s, so there will definitely be enough heat. And if we get some rain Friday, there'll be enough moisture in the air for Saturday as well. Mostly sunny on Sunday and warm as we end our weekend. High temperatures again staying pretty consistent into those low 90s. Finishing up our forecast on Monday, partly cloudy skies. High pressure still dominating the weather in the Pacific, and that means it'll dominate our weather with high temperatures on Monday right around that 90-degree mark. All right, your 7-day forecast. 68 overnight tonight. Little haze and some hot weather again tomorrow at 93. A slow cool down as we get into Friday, 92 Thursday, and then those thunderstorm chances on both Friday and Saturday. We're going to stay pretty much in the low 90s as we get into the upcoming weekend. And then for Sunday and Monday, a mix of clouds and sun and still warm, 92 Saturday and 91 your high temperature on Monday. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Swung on and hit on a hop past the shortstop.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox are in the West Coast League playoffs, and NCWLIFE Channel has you covered. Join us for the divisional round this Sunday at 6:30. Coverage is brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and the Wenatchee Valley Technical Skills Center. Join us for the playoffs on the NCWLIFE Channel.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Happy Tuesday. The U.S. women's 3-on-3 basketball team started the Olympics 0-3. They went on to win their next 5 games before falling in the semifinals and eventually winning the bronze. Haley Van Lith led Team USA in scoring despite being the shortest and youngest member of the squad. She says she approached it as her one and only Olympic experience, knowing her energy would be important.
It really, looking back, I'm really proud of us. People don't understand how hard 3-on-3 is and just the uniqueness of the sport. And for us to start 0-3 and go 6 of 7 in the next 7 games against the 7 best teams in the world is actually incredible. And so I'm super proud of us. The coaches told me before the game is my energy was either going to determine whether we were going to win it or whether we were going to lose. And, that is my role. I'm the young player. I'm supposed to have energy all the time. So I knew, I was like, if I don't get my energy up, I'm going to let my team down. And so I just tried to play as hard as I could. And when I'm in that mindset, scoring happens to come easy. So it ended up in baskets, but my mindset was just to, give everything I had for this last Olympics. Because after today, the Olympic experience is over for me. So either I could end it with a medal or I could end it with a loss.
Thanks to King 5 TV for the video. Haley's next journey will be her final year playing college basketball at TCU after transferring from LSU following last season. Well, the Seahawks were back at practice Monday after their mock game last weekend. Coach Mike McDonald says there was plenty to be positive about, but they also still have plenty of work to do as they prepare for their first preseason game Saturday in LA against the Chargers.
I wouldn't say it's the game. I just think, hey, this is the last true training camp week of us to go through have all the reps, all the time, all those things. And so, we need to take advantage of this opportunity, and that was my message to the guys, after we broke practice.
Charles Cross continues to work at offensive left tackle as Seattle looks for improvement along the offensive line. Coach Mike McDonald says the third-year player is a leader along that O-line.
He's the anchor of the offensive line, man. So we go as Charles goes, and just, again, another guy that you get to know throughout the process and how he operates. Just a lot of respect for how he goes about his business. He's like a silent assassin out there. And again, I was talking to the guys on the radio this morning, but I'm not some offensive line savant. But, from what you see and how you evaluate practice and how often he wins one-on-ones and then listen to the offensive coaches, it seems like he's had some things to take his game to the next level. And you want that from all your guys. Like, how are you going to level up? How are you going to go take your game, to put yourself in the best spot to further your career and help the team?
Jackson Smith-Njigba enters his second season at wide receiver for the Seahawks. Coach McDonald says he expects JSN to be more productive this season.
He's got this fluid explosiveness about him that can run the entire route tree. Incredible ways like track the ball, body control, explosive in and out of his cuts. And I talk about all this tacit stuff all the time, but it's this competitor in him, the mentality of what we want. He has that. So I encourage him to keep doing those things. If you could relay the message to him, that'd be great.
After missing 3 practices last week and the mock game Saturday, Geno Smith was back in practice yesterday. Jackson Smith-Njigba says it was great to have his leader back.
Yeah, all offseason I just seen, him pushing himself first and then just pushing us to get to the next level, get to where we want to be. And he's been the head guy, the lead at that. And, he's been coming out here every day and proving, that he's ready and that, this year is going to look a little different. So, we're all on board, and it's good for him to be back and to get back with us. and for us to get to rolling again.
Seattle kicks off at 4 o'clock in L.A. this Saturday. They'll follow up in Tennessee the following Saturday before hosting their final preseason game the 24th against Cleveland. Well, the Mariners host the Detroit Tigers in the first of 3 games at T-Mobile Park tonight. Detroit's 53-60, coming in third place in the American League Central. Seattle leads the AL West with a 59-54 mark. Mariner hitters will go up against Kiter Montero, while Seattle starts Luis Castillo. First pitch at 6:40 on Root Sports Northwest. Texas's Josh Smith hit a walk-off 2-run home run to beat the Astros 4-3 last night. Houston trails Seattle by a game and a half, while the Rangers are 5 games back. Oakland beat Chicago 5-1 in a battle of 2 of the worst teams in all of baseball. The Wenatchee Apple Sox are in Bend tonight to begin the final series of the regular season. Wenatchee 16-8 and the second half of the West Coast League season, while the Elks are 14-10. Cam Hoyland will get the start against Josh Wakefield at Vince Jenna Stadium tonight, 6:35 game time. You can hear it with Joel Norman on Sunny FM. Norman, by the way, sat down with Dan Kuntz before the team's departure yesterday to discuss the postseason matchups possible for the Apple Sox.
The way it's looking right now, we're assuming that we're going to be traveling to face Edmonton or Victoria on Saturday in Game 1 of the North Division Series. You and I were just talking about the extra wrinkle, of course, with Victoria. Royal Athletic Park in Victoria is hosting a CFL game, Canadian Football League game, later in, I think it is this month or early next. But either way, the ballpark's not available to host playoff baseball. So if we play Victoria, we're actually going to travel to Nanaimo for game number 1 at Sir Oxman Stadium. Game 2, of course, as everyone knows, is still here coming up on Sunday. So that's going to be an interesting wrinkle, whatever happens. And if you have to go to Edmonton, that's a heck of a trip for one game as well. So, but I guess that's, the thing about this league is you give these wild card teams a chance in the first round. You give them that chance of, hey, go host the first game. If you win, you only have to win one of the next 2 on the road, which is still a tall task. But they give them that possibility. And I'm really excited about that because we've had our troubles with Edmonton this year, but in a lot of ways, I think it's a favorable matchup still for us. And Victoria, we won 4 of 6, but they've been red hot in the second half. So I don't know if we want to face them either. So it's a good North Division. I don't think it's as strong as the South, but it's still a really good division. And you could tell me that we would sweep the first round. You could tell me that we would lose in the first round. I don't think I'd be surprised either way, just because I think there is enough talent among the other teams who we could be playing.
Other West Coast League, Bellingham fell to Springfield in 12 innings last night, 13-12, while Corvallis topped Victoria 5-3. That puts Wenatchee even closer to wrapping up the second half title in the North Division. Edmonton blasted Nanaimo last night 15-4. Wenatchee's lead in the WCL North second half standings is 2.5 games over Victoria and Bellingham. Nanaimo and Edmonton sit 3.5 games back. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.
Hi, everybody. Dan Kuntz, host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Tomorrow, of course, will be the day after primary election day. We will have all the latest results. Now, there's going to be a lot of uncounted ballots. A lot of people didn't get a chance to drop off their ballot into the drop box until Sunday or even Monday. So there's going to be a lot of uncounted ballots. That much we know. But we'll also have a pretty good idea of who's going to face who come the November general election. So right out of the box, first thing tomorrow morning, in case you missed it, we will have election results from today's primary election, plus your weather forecast, Mariner highlights. We'll talk Apple Sox, whatever pops into my addled brain. We get up early for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and sometimes by 7 o'clock, I'm ready to call it a day. We'll find out together tomorrow, live and local, right here from Studio 7.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. And as a reminder, the primary voting period ends today and the vote counting starts at 8 p.m. Find out which local candidates will advance to the November general election by checking our website, NCWLIFE.com, or our mobile app for iPhone and Android. We'll have all the numbers tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Also remember, for more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great night.